What's up, people? We're back on GoTimeMedia with season 2, episode 2. I'm gonna need y'all to stop what y'all doing. Go subscribe to my YouTube at GoTimeMedia. Also follow my other platforms at GoTimeMedia. Huge thanks for Tommy Farr and McKenzie Dorsainvil for coming back on today. I remember the last time you were on here, McKenzie, you were telling me about your podcast you're starting. So tell me what's new with that.
To be honest with the podcast is going pretty good. It's called Young and Christians. Basically, is a space where not only believers but unbelievers can come on, talk about the difficult issues concerning the faith, things that might be blocking them from the faith, and just talking about it. I mean,
I
so it's
like.
going pretty good. Yeah.
What about you, Tommy? You're a teacher. How's teaching with COVID going on?
Yeah, so luckily for me, I'm in a private school in Philly. So, and I say luckily because I want to be in person. Like for me, it's my first year teaching.
Okay.
And as a first year teacher, this is definitely a unique experience, but it's hybrid. So we got some online students, some in class, but I'm not gonna lie, I had online schooling for college my last time and I was just playing 2K the whole time. And I could literally hear the students, I could like hear the whistles and the refs in the background and see their PlayStation controllers. And I'm just like, I would do the same thing, so I'm not even mad.
No, I would be too. Like it would be hard for me to focus. Like I'll be on Call of Duty and like just nod in my head as the teacher's just talking.
Facts.
That's what I'll be doing. Act like
And
I got
honestly,
headphones in, but I'm really playing COD. They just don't know it
yet.
Every now and then you just look back at the teacher like,
yeah.
What about growing up? Did you think you was gonna be a teacher when you grew up?
No, not me, and not anybody who taught me either. I was like that student, you get your report card back, and at the comments, it's like, it was always like, Tommy's a pleasure to have in class, but he's constantly disruptive and, like yada, yada, yada. So yeah, I failed classes in high school. I had so many detentions at one point. They just had to stack them all up and turn them into one in-school suspension for a week. But yeah. But here I am now. I'm like, what's up?
You know what it is? That's usually the people that become teachers.
Yeah, I mean, at my program I was in, everybody was like the color-coded notes, pencils lined up on the desk, and they actually called me like a success story because they said I was like rough around the edges. But I'm like, if you know some of my friends that aren't teachers, I'm not that rough around the edges. I'm just rough around the edges for like a teacher, I guess.
Yeah, I could definitely feel that. So y'all ready to dive into a deep conversation about society?
Let's get it.
All right. First, I feel like, what's your guys' opinions on society overall?
So with society, it kind of just, I feel like it can get pretty deep. In terms of like social media, just the influence it has on us. Society kind of shapes us in a way that it wants us to be, you know what I mean? Regardless, like it doesn't like, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know if Tommy, you feel me on that, but how society kind of shapes us.
What about you, Tommy?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna go into like teacher mode for a second because I teach history. And I was just talking today about how like life pretty much sucked for like the majority of people in society for like hundreds and hundreds of years. Like living in the times we're living in, like things are almost so good that we are like at this point just creating our own problems. Like people who lived in like the Middle Ages or like when democracy wasn't a thing, you just had a king or something like that. Like you weren't really worried about the things that we're worried about nowadays. But
right.
Not to make light of them at all, but it's just like it's different devils for different levels. And I think hard times create like strong men, and strong men create good times. And I think sometimes good times can kind of create some weaknesses, some cracks in the armor that we didn't really see coming. So I feel like we're all just trying to deal with these weird, it's not like every day we're getting attacked, people knocking on our doors and harassing us, but we got those like first world problems, you know what I mean? That
right.
Definitely hit. They definitely hit hard, but they're harder to navigate, I feel like.
You know what I think? I think social media controls society. And to break that down like step by step, like I can even start with the looks. Like women always try to go with the surgeries if it's like they need a bigger butt. They need a bigger boobs. They need like to get their forehead smaller. They need face reconstruction. It's not even just women. Like males are getting lipo. They're trying to get that six pack. You're trying to look like Michael B. Jordan. Just as a female is trying to look like Cardi B.
Yeah.
And like when a woman sees that, like you see the Jenners, you see the Kardashians, like everybody wants Kim's body. And for males, you want that Michael B. Jordan. You want that the rock body, like whatever society brings, I feel like people chase that. And like
Yeah.
chasing it is like it's kind of like chasing a ghost because it's like you don't know what that person is going through. Like how like I feel like society makes us try harder than we gotta try to impress people that we don't really even care about to impress. Like
Yeah.
people will go buy these clothes to go post on Instagram to go get these likes that none of these people care about. Like these people do not care about you in real life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like we are constantly trying to impress people we don't care about.
Yeah. And I think it goes into fulfillment, like as far as like fulfillment, like we were talking about the other day, fulfillment, finding our fulfillment in certain things that really don't matter, don't hold anything. We might think the cars, the money, the likes or whatever could fulfill us in that moment. But after we get it, it's like, nah, that really don't fulfill me. And then we roll on to the next thing that just, replaces, and we go on to this whole cycle. And it's a cycle of the way the society is like shaping us to be. So.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like just the constant comparing, and somebody said comparison is like the enemy of happiness, because like the grass is always greener. Like you could have a down chick who's like, for me, like I'm married, like I'm obviously happy with my situation. You could have the best girl, you could have the great friends, you could have a good life, like super blessed, but you're kind of always looking at what somebody else is doing. So for me, I had to make the choice to get rid of social media because, I didn't have to. Like I could have. I'm not saying like that's the answer, but for me personally, like it was one of the best moves I made in the past couple of years because it just helped me be more content with what I got going on and less like focused on those things that we're talking about, like society says matters. When in 10 years the trends will be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Who's going to be the next Michael B. Jordan and Cardi B that everyone's trying to copy.
Facts.
See, yo, that's hard, bro. That's hard. I just want to put out there how hard it is to actually just drop social media like that. I remember I stopped going on social media for a week. I remember for like at least 2 or 3 days straight, I'll be on my jack. And in the place where the app was, I just kept clicking it. You know what I mean? I just kept clicking it as if like, you know what I mean? It was like still like as if it was there. Right. And I'm like, dang, I'm kind of in this cycle.
It's crazy to think about.
With me, it's like I'm always on social media like for sports. Yeah. Like I'm always watching highlights. Like I'm probably up 2 o'clock, and that's why I can go days for sports. I'm up to like 2 o'clock in the morning on social media. Like I need to know what happened this game. And like at one point, a couple years ago, like I used to see what celebrities were up to. And then it's like, oh, well, he had these shoes, I'm gonna go get those shoes. Like it was like I was trying to I'm trying to chase a ghost because like what's popular now is not gonna be popular in 10 years. Just like what's popular now wasn't popular 10 years ago. Like as far as looks, back in the day, years ago, they used to say skinny was a wave. Now they're saying be thick. What's gonna happen in the future? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like no matter what you are, you should be loved or you should just be comfortable in your own skin. Because like I used to be chubby. So I know how it feels. Like I know how it feels to wanna like look like Michael B or look like whoever you look up to. I get all that, but at the same time, it's like you only live life once. And you're trying to get that beach photo, but really you just look perfect just how you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I can tell you girls like they spend hours on makeup when really you just beautiful, just natural. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how society can make people think.
Yeah, I think because like even people who don't see their beauty in themselves, like they look at other people in comparison, like you're saying, like we were talking about, comparison is a curse because it's like I think someone could actually be beautiful and they look at somebody else, the next girl, and be like, nah, like I'm not as beautiful as her. But it's just like why? You know what I mean? It makes you
Right.
question just like why like we comparing to somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I hate the whole comparison thing anyway. Like one realistically, like there's only one Cardi B, there's only one Beyonce, like there's only one Megan Thee Stallion. As far as fellas, like your body only comes along once, and once you get older, you're gonna get fat regardless. So you might as well just live your life regardless. Like I feel like if you keep trying to chase an image,
Mm-hmm.
you might be chasing something your whole life, and before you know it, like life's gonna be over like that. Like I feel like you gotta live in the moment and be happy because you never know what happiness is. Like you don't want to sit back in your 40. Like me personally, like looking back, I probably should have took my shirt off more times at the beach back in the day, but then I didn't because I didn't have the body I have today. So it's like, but at the same time, it's like I give the people the confidence that I give a big, huge shout out to the people that got the confidence that don't have the body and they go out there and they're still happy. It's like,
Yeah.
and like as far as looks, like we are so sensitive to our looks. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Super
crazy.
sensitive.
Like it's crazy. Like people really go and buy outfits just for a picture. And it's not even Easter. They
That
go
was
out
weak.
here buying pictures, like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they go everywhere. They're like, I need this. Let me get this together to take a picture. And let's just say to get these 300 likes. And when you die, these 300 people don't even care. They're just gonna keep moving on. You know, it's like we're impressing people that they don't need to be impressed. Like they don't have nothing to do with your regular day life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think it's twofold because first of all, we're talking about 10 years in the future. Nowadays, it's more like 10 minutes. Like it switched up so quick. Like I don't even, you know what I mean? It's so quick. And so it's like twofold. On one stance, you're chasing something. And I feel like for as a hip hop and rap fan, like you got like a couple different types of rap songs. It's like some is about like the chase and the grind, and the other is about like the material that you're or whatever it is that you're grinding for. And I always like the songs that was more about like the grind or the struggle, like a little bit more, because I feel like I just related to that more.
Right.
Like there's something about that like chase or that grind or like just trying to get somewhere that is like very relatable that we all feel like we definitely like can tune into. Sometimes it's not like, when you're turning up and you're just playing whatever, it's like some of the songs about like the stuff is always fun. But when I was like putting the headphones in, like it was always like those songs that were like the chase, like the grind, those songs that I really enjoyed. But it felt like it had more meaning, like then it's like some of the things we're chasing and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, like you said, it's chasing ghosts. Cause by the time we get there, we realize like it wasn't all that. Like the chase was better than it's like how some dudes will say the chase, they'll chase a girl, and then once they get her, they'll kind of like be like, I don't want her anymore.
Yeah.
It's like one of those type things. Like the chase is better than the actual like getting what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, society even got people like, as far as girls, like society won't mess. Like they'll tell you don't date this girl because she's too thick. Society, like they're telling you, get a girl with a slim waist, big booty, big breasts. You know what I'm saying? Like they're kind of even telling you who to date. Don't date this person. Date a person with these abs, with some tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Like society kind of is controlling so much. Like people don't even put into perspective of how much control it
So
really
much.
has.
And what's crazy about that, we'll say, oh, go chase the girl with the big butt or the big boobs or whatever. But when it fades, you know what I mean? Then what is left? Instead of chasing with somebody that's really integral, instead of chasing somebody for what they have in their heart,
Right.
regardless of what the features they have, that's huge.
Right.
That's huge.
I need to know what your credit score is. I'm trying to get personal before I need to
Yeah.
know some stuff.
Actually, I think it's deceiving, bro. That looks be deceiving sometimes, bro.
Yeah, like
Oh,
as I got older, I realized that like I used to be so picky. I've been looking for Beyonce for forever, like now I realize Beyonce ain't coming, so like
Yeah.
why not just get somebody who makes me happy physically, mentally, spiritually, however you want to look at it, keeps motivating me. So there's so many things in a girl, like looks should be the last thing. Like looks should be the plus because like relationship is so deep.
Yeah.
Like if she's not motivating you to get on your grind for your passion, if she's not motivating you every day to wake up, if she's not, and the same like with the guys, like if a guy isn't motivating you with your dreams, if he's not, your motivation to go harder, and he's not helping you in any type of way, then it's like the looks don't matter, because like it don't matter at all. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying right now is like I'm like stop. I'm trying to make a point and just stopping and listen, like really listen to what people are saying more. Because I'll be like I agree, but when you actually think about it, like it's one thing to agree with it, and then it's another thing to apply it. Because like everything that we say we can agree with and be like, wow, that's real, and then we could go back and we could just fall into the same trap because we like, as human beings, especially I feel like in our generation, we're so like like instant. We need that instant reward. Like whether it's like throw a picture up, you start seeing them likes come in. Like you're waiting for them likes to come in sometimes. You know what I mean? Or like
Yeah.
it's like a high. Like it's like the whatever that thing is that gets set off in your brain when you smoke, like we're to get higher, like smoke weed or something like that. They say it's the same chemical that gets set off when the lights start going off. Like your brain is literally like triggered to, I think it's serotonin or something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
But it's
something
literally
like
like, yeah, and we don't think long term. So like what you're saying about like, is that person gonna be next to you, like motivate you to get up? And like, did they make you a better person? Did they encourage you? Do they actually show you love, or is it just more like an image thing? Because it's one thing to agree with that, but it's another to actually look at your life and be like, all right, what kind of people am I putting next to me? And that's when I realized, when I got rid of my social media and stuff, a lot of the people that I saw the most because they would post the most, like I was so distracted by people that had nothing to do with me. And now it's not like I really talked to them at all. It's not like I deleted it and they hit me up. And not that I expected them to. It's just like we could just have our head in the clouds. Like we got to stay grounded, like 10 toes. Like we got to like reset and have these conversations.
Yeah. See, yeah, it's a thing right there, because I noticed when I cut off social media for a while, it caused me not only to let go of social media as a way like a form of bondage, but at the same time it just allowed me to be like, all right, dang, like instead of just me scrolling past seeing somebody, like it made me think like, oh dang, like, I wonder how this person is doing. Let me just hit them up. Something like that. It caused me to hit people up more, you know what I mean? Because instead, like, I feel like when you just see people on social media, you could just go by, but you know what I mean? Like, it's really different because it
Different
changed my
when you actually
mentality.
talking to them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, like social media also controls not just looks, but like clothes. Like for a woman, like ladies, y'all always want the Fashion Nova. Y'all want these Balenciaga socks. Y'all want these Gucci, the Louis Vuitton. And like males are really no better. Like we want the jewelry. We want the Jordans. We want the Yeezys. And like, for what? First of all, like Yeezys is like way, and I'm a sneakerhead. Like Yeezys way too much for me. Some shoes. They don't even look right on me. They look like socks.
They look like socks.
Like,
like socks.
So
no, what size shoe are you though? What size shoe are you?
14.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you a 14, bro?
Yeah, bro.
You gotta.
14. Like,
I used to work at Foot Locker. We wouldn't even get size 14s, and like we might get one size of 14s of Jordans in like every other drop. So like I know it's hard for you to find shoes sometimes.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, this is gonna sound crazy from a sneakerhead. I got all these shoes, but I just be in my Crocs, man.
They comfy.
Man, listen, man.
That's real life.
I'm in my Crocs right now. Ain't nobody know, but I'm in my Crocs. You know, I just chilling. They like floating on clouds.
You got different colors?
Man, I got flavors.
I got these Jones already.
The Mox.
Bro, I got a pair of them too. Like, I realized like a lot of my designers, like the Jordans, the Nikes, the Currys, the Kyries, the like any shoe that you basically name I had, but like even like Gucci, they all hurt. Like, you know, like after an hour and like they all hurt. And on top of that, their shoes. Like, I don't understand how we can go buy $1,000 shirt for a 2-second photo shoot. You know, like to post for some people that don't even care.
But then again, you won't buy your $20 shirt that your man's made to support his business.
Bro, and that's the thing. Like, yo, that's my whole thing on this. Like, Yeezys is $1,000. Gucci's like what, 500 and up. And I mean, like the list goes on and on. LV from Hermione, like, but like we'll go buy $1,000 sneaker, but we can't go buy a $65 hoodie that our friend brought. That our friend made.
Right.
You know, like he's
Right.
spending his hard-earned time on this, and he can't even get the support from somebody up the street, somebody who known him his whole life, but we go support these new brands. And like
Right.
what amazes me the most is like black people. Like how y'all go out here and go support Fashion Nova, go support H&M, and you go support like it's so many, but you won't go and support your own community. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it goes so deep. Like even music, like I know y'all gotta know an artist that y'all go post the Lil Baby. And Lil Baby don't even know y'all. Y'all about to go post y'all about to post his album. He don't even know y'all.
I don't even know y'all.
Y'all go post Drake's album, but you won't even go take 2 seconds to share your friend's music. Even if you don't even talk to him, it takes 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds to share somebody's craft. Like you're sharing somebody who already made it. And they don't even know y'all. They never gonna talk to y'all. And like I think that whole thing is mind blowing.
I mean, you know, like it goes a long way, like showing love to like you probably know, like both you guys having a podcast and stuff. Like when people show love, people kind of reach out, you know, especially better be in your circle, like, you know, people that actually that you are tight with and your homies like supporting, like, and then when people in your community outside of that circle start to reach out, like it goes a long way, like because you're putting in work. Like I know like Deontay, you were talking about you putting in like work all day long on sometimes, you know what I mean? Unforgiving, like the things that nobody sees. And you know, for someone to reach out and show love and support and listen, like, you know what I mean? It means more than people probably know. So
I think it does. Like I think a lot of people craft go unknown. It's like not even just podcasts, it's like music, you know, females with hair, you know, if it's like I'm about to like I've been looking at females that do their hair, they're like 6-7 hours in to make somebody's hair look good. It takes 2 seconds to post a hairstyle. It takes 2 seconds to post a song. But like people, they're gonna keep sliding up. But then Lil Baby, Drake, they're gonna go share them. Like to me, that stuff's sad. It's kind of sad. It's like you're chasing the hype.
Yeah.
It's all about the hype.
I think of people like sheep, you know, they kind of just follow wherever the flock goes. You know what I mean? It's like if the flock of sheep is going to wherever, regardless of the song, I see people follow songs that ain't even hot. I don't know how it made boards, but just because it's hype, you know what I mean? People just follow it.
Facts.
That's so
like,
true.
Half of these rappers now, like I don't even understand their names. You know what I'm saying? Like, one, I don't understand their name. Two, I don't understand what they're saying. And some of these people that like in our neighborhood, not in our neighborhood, that's not even. They don't gotta be. We don't even gotta know them. Let's just say they're not as popular. Like, it takes a couple seconds to share them, and who knows that share leads to another share, leads to another share. The picture's so much bigger, and it's not even just music. Like when we go with brands, like how can we buy all these brands but not spend money on somebody who's trying to make it? Somebody who took their hard-earned money, made 30 hoodies, got it customized, but you're gonna go buy the $1 billion, you're gonna go buy $1 million who already made it. Like that stuff's mind-blowing. And as far as like blacks, they need to think smarter. Like we need more black brands. You know what I'm saying? Like we as far as us, like we definitely need to, and we keep making Versace rich. You know what I'm saying? We keep making Gucci rich. They like we're making them rich, and they don't even see it that way. When realistically, we can make our own self rich.
See, bro, like what? Because I think especially in our community, like I see a lot of businesses start, but I don't see a lot of businesses finish it because it is discouraging not to get, you know, people to support your businesses. But at the same time, I think us as, you know, the community, we need to just keep going regardless because, you know, we're doing podcasts. I heard somebody say, are you ready to do 100 podcasts and not blow up? It took me a while to think about that. I'm like,
that's real.
you know what I mean? Like you got to really think about that because, you know, if you're doing it just for the buzz, you know what I mean, then you're not going to make it out. You just got to keep going, pushing regardless of what people are supporting or not supporting. You know what I mean? So I think that's where we go wrong because I feel like in our community, like I said, like especially in the Black community, I see it a lot. We love attention, we love the likes, we love the fame, we love the pop. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if it doesn't, we just stop what we're doing. We got to just keep going.
They don't like. A lot of people don't like the grind.
A lot of people don't like the grind,
But
bro.
again, that's not even like. Then again, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it's our fault in a sense, but then it's like at the same time, it's social media's fault.
It is.
I'm gonna tell you why. Like social media, like I used to slide through social media all the time, and I see people flash money. I've seen people flash their house. I done seen people post bracelets, the fancy cars, anything, trips to the islands. What social media don't show is how to put the work in. What social media don't show is how to invest your money, how to spend money wisely. You know what I'm saying? Like after a while, like the stimulus check, like how many people really invested that stimulus to flip that money? Nah, they probably all went to KOP.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Right
Right,
back
you
into
probably
the
see
society.
people and you see them and you're like, people probably saw each other at the mall, like, yo, you got the stimmy? Like, yeah, I got, yo, this is my shit. I got the shoes. Like, when that
That's what they
stimmy
want us to do,
hits.
man. That's exactly what they want us to do is give it
And the
right back
craziest
out.
thing is, it was your money to start with that you paid the government, and the government gives it back to you like they're giving you something. Like it was your money in the first place. Like,
yeah,
right. Like I'm not even complaining. Like they give me 7 stimulus. I'm Joe Biden's best friend. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But like at the same time, they don't teach us like invest this little bit into this. Go maybe buy a property, maybe go flip this. They all they do is they want you to spend money on what they want you to see.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And like as far as social media now, like and it's overall like social media does have the biggest part on society, but like I think games do too. Games. And I'm gonna tell you why, like the young generation, they're not outside like that.
Yeah,
They're like 10
Yeah.
hours, 7 hours on a computer. You
yeah.
know, like when I was growing up, bro, school was out, I was gone. I'm at the park, man. Like I don't got
Dang.
no phone. I'm knocking on their door, like, yo, the
Yeah.
son home, I'm
Yeah.
trying to hoop. You know what I'm saying?
Man, good
It's
times.
like they like, yo, we just got home. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm trying to get this in. Like, I gotta be home at 6. So I'm trying to run 6, 7 games. And then when I used to go eat dinner. I'm right in my driveway. Like Saturday come, I'm outside for hours, man. You know,
Yep.
summertime come, I never ever stayed a day inside. I'm outside. You
Yeah,
know, and I see
facts.
people sleeping. I see kids sleeping. Like it's beautiful outside, kids sleeping. And
Yeah.
then like again, like, dude, that makes me think like this is the younger generation. Do they really want it? You know, like I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know if they want it. You know, like it's hard to say you want it when you're sleeping more than you're working. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell myself when I'm tired, like there's really no room to sleep. Like there's not even enough hours in a day to sleep. And these kids are sleeping, they're on a tablet. It's like it's kind of sad in a sense.
Yeah, I think
It is
COVID
kind of
made it
sad.
easier. COVID made it easier, definitely, to made that more acceptable to just be locked in the crib. And at the same time, you know what I mean? We're not talking about the psychological damage that causes for kids being inside all the day, all the time. Like kids having social anxiety, being locked in all the time. You know what I mean? Like it just affects. It's like a spiral.
Right.
Man, there's so many layers to it though. Like I feel like some of them we escape because of, like we were literally just born like a little bit sooner. But like they say with coronavirus, the what it did was like dependency on technology. Like it was inevitably going to be kind of where we're at now, but it sped it up like 2 years. So we're like in 2023, how it would have been in 2023. We're there now because the way everything like kind of shut down.
Yeah.
And like my students, man, half of them are online. It's like, man, I would, to be honest, like I would go to school even if it was just to skip school or skip class. I would still want to be at school because that's where people were. Like I
Yeah.
can't imagine, and I understand like some people, you know, it's kind of a fear of getting of corona, but like for a student that would be like, no, I want to stay home all day. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to see anybody. I'm like, I can't relate. I need to be around people, you know. And a lot of
I
these kids are like, I want to be by myself, close myself in my room, like, In high school, I don't know about all that.
Yo, like I'm the same way. Like I'm thinking to myself, how is a kid that don't want to go to school, don't want to go outside, don't want to talk to nobody, like what you gonna do when these 4 years of high school is up? Like, and then again, it's like, are we preparing them to fail? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's another thing with society. Like a lot of people that leave high school, they don't have the proper tools. You know what I'm saying? And then this the mind-blowing part when you add sports into that. I want to be the next LeBron James, but you sleep 10 hours a day. How you going to be the next Saquon Barkley when you're not putting in Saquon Barkley workout, Saquon Barkley work effort? You know what I'm saying? Like you want to make the NFL, but you're sleeping. Your grades suck. How are you going to do that? Like I don't understand the logic.
I mean, it's funny because like I don't know. I mean, I'm glad I work at the school I work at, but I mean, like I literally will tell the kids, I'm like, some of y'all will talk about, like I won't call them out individually, but I'll just kind of speak to them all. And I'm like, kind of like, you know who you are. Like talking about you're about this, you're about that. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, stop talking. Because when it comes down to it, you're not doing anything. I'm like, you gotta create things. You gotta like make something of yourself. Like it is fulfilling to like put effort out. Like that is fulfilling because when you lay your head down to sleep at the end of the night, like you said, we used to have to get called in the house. Like now, like parents are trying to tell their kids to go play outside. Like they're like, yo, quick, let's get another game in because the sun's about to go down. Like, you know, when the sun goes down, you can't really see the ball no more. Like you will do anything. Like, and I don't know, it's so crazy because it feels like it's done a 180 and it's like, it's so wild to think about the fact how much we've switched up. And I don't know if it is going to go back. Like, I don't know what we can do to like kind of switch that up.
I mean, it's definitely going to go back for sure. You know, like I feel like it's going to go back when we have kids. Like, I feel like it's going to do it like a whole generation change. Like kids are going to like going outside, you know, like,
okay.
And when I think of that, I think as right now, COVID made people 10 times lazy. Like, first of all, a lot of people are getting unemployment. They don't want to go to work. Some people make more on unemployment than they did at work. And then you get the kids where these kids, first of all, it's not even like I don't blame kids 100% because the games that we were playing on a computer don't look like the games that they playing right now. So they got better technology, what makes them want to do more things. You know what I'm saying? Because 2K looks real. You know what I'm saying? Like 2K looks real. It looks like he's really playing with LeBron, you know? So like it's like when like if they look at our games compared to them, like, okay, I understand. I wouldn't want to play neither, but at the same time, it's like, don't you want to go outside and get tackled? Like half of these kids don't got bruises.
Yeah, they didn't have NBA Street though. They didn't have NBA Street when they were playing with Stretch on PS2, so they don't know nothing about that. But no, I know what you're saying because I feel like I like what you're saying though, because like I was really looking for like, I feel like when we have kids, like we'll be trying to have, I want my kids to have a similar childhood to me. Like as far as like being outside and like knocking on the neighbor's door, like, yo, I remember always, yo, can Dominic come out to play? Yo, Dominic's got to clean his room and then he'll come out to play and we'd be outside playing Manhunt or something like that. Crazy. Like I want my kids to have that. I don't want them to be what I see now. Like it is depressing. Like it's
I asked this kid, you want to play Manhunt? He said, what's that?
Wow.
I said, what's that? He said, what's that? I said, what? You know, I'm like, I'm scared and like, man, I'm scared my kid might not know what tag is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
See, I think it starts with us for sure. Because even when we do have kids, like during the day, I work with kids, kindergarten through third grade in the middle of the day. So I play with like at recess. I make it the best time they have. You know what I mean? They look forward to that every single time. They know when I'm not there or when I'm absent because they like that time outside is kind of just like what we do in our own, you know what I mean, in our own lives. You know what I mean? Because especially like obviously in the Black community, you look at father figures, you know what I mean? They're absent from some people's lives and that affects some too. But you know what I mean? Like I said, the change just starts with us taking accountability for certain things, making sure we're just available. to be there to be outside too. I'm not just gonna send my kid, just go outside every single time. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna probably go outside with him too.
Right.
Show him what it's like, you know what I mean? What it's like in my childhood.
I feel like the people that don't got the fathers, like again, society's just failing the youth because like society says, okay, well, the iPhone 12 is $1,000, but that's same $1,000 you're about to buy the iPhone 12, you can go start a business with. All right, but then they're like, all right, well, listen, my first date or wherever you go, I'm gonna go get some dinner, I'm gonna get some drinks. You about to spend 100 on fast food. You can go spend 100 on groceries for your body. You know what I'm saying? Treat your body right. But you're gonna go spend money on Burger King, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
You need to go spend that same 100 to get groceries. They don't tell you that though. Like, or we're about to watch, 2 hours of 2 seasons on Netflix. But them same 2 seasons, you can go learn a whole new life skill. I'm saying them same 2 hours. It's like society doesn't teach you how to use your hours, how to use your time wisely. It's like society really got like a lack of communication. And
It's the
then
biggest thing, bro.
it's like a lack of opportunity. And then what happens is we get lazy. And then what happens is America gets lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like America, like listen to America is so lazy. We gotta hire somebody to take the carts back to the shopping center. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't even take the carts back to the shopping center. You know what I'm saying? We leave it at our car. Like that's how patterns start to form. And then people don't get the education until they're 30, 40. They don't want to go back to school. Like they feel like they're too old. They feel like they don't know too much. They're too embarrassed. So what happens is they stay in the job they want. They stay in a situation they want. Then you get miserable. And next thing you know, life is over like that. It's like another pattern.
Yeah. I mean, my dad would always say, how you do anything is how you do everything. Like all this stuff, everything is always easier said than done. You know what I mean? But like how you do anything, like taking a cart back, you know what I mean? Treating somebody good, that's how you do everything. So like you start creating these habits, and like we need a paradigm shift, because like what you're saying about the 2 hours of Netflix versus 2 hours of learning a skill, like that is it's so simple. I'm not like simple and easy aren't the same thing, but it's so simple. Like yeah, duh, like that's 2 hours right there. And it's crazy how when you're doing something that you're just like chilling, that time flies. But like when you're like doing something that's hard, that clock ticks extra slow for some reason. But like, so we recognize that like it's not all easy, but they say it takes 2 weeks to really form something to where it's a habit. And I noticed this with the gym. Like if I haven't been in the gym in a minute, it's like trying to start a car that's been sitting for like 3 years. Like it's just not. But once I'm 2 weeks in, I'm walking in different. Like it's easier to get my car there. Like it takes 2 weeks to form a habit, and next thing you know, things are changing. Like you said, McKenzie, before I'd really deleted my social media, there was probably 12 times where I deleted it for like a week and a half. You know what I mean? And then it wasn't until I gave it that final push that it just became regular, Like we need a paradigm shift, because I feel like there's two sides to the coin that we're talking about. Like we do create our society a certain way, and then our society creates the next generation. Like we shape society, like we create these things, we create this the culture, we create the technology and the social media, and then that shapes who we are. And like we gotta like, are we like the dog waving the tail, or are we the tail that the dog's waving? Like we got to be in the driver's seat here, and like be intentional. I think we got to be intentional, man.
I think even when we talk about just the society and we talk about bondage that we have, it's like I think we're always bonded by America in some way. Like you think back in 10 years ago when welfare was popping, it's like, all right, I'm gonna give y'all this is little change to keep y'all dependent on us, America. You know what I mean? Just so you can keep going. And it's kind of the same thing with these stimulus checks. Like, let's go. I'll take it. I spent it. I'll take it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm gonna give you this money. I'm gonna give you this money. Then people are quitting their jobs. They're becoming more lazy, dependent on the government. And that's kind of the thing I don't mess with, because like it's like you see people just laying back. Like you said, like some people make more money on unemployment than they regular jobs. So it's just like, all right, I'm not gonna work. But it's at the same time, we're going right back to just being dependent on the government, America, on just feeding us and all this. And I don't know, man. I got this whole different little spiel.
And it's like we listen to what they feed us. Like I'm trying to tell you, like social media is so powerful. Anything they say, people believe.
Yeah, anything.
So it's like, and also like I feel like that makes people depressed. And when a lot of people get depressed, like when they go through, like it's gonna sound crazy when people overcome the depression of going through social media, like it all comes to an end of them getting closer to God.